Chicago is the greatest city in the world. There are a lot of people who contend that America is the greatest nation on the planet, and if you believe that, you have to conclude that Chicago is the greatest city because Chicago is America's best and most accurate reflection. My great uncle is from the Deep South, and after 60 years in Chicago, his conclusion has always been that Chicago has the best of everything, but it also has the worst of everything. And I think that's accurate. And in that sense, it perfectly reflects America. America is first in ideals and at the same time ranked last in healthcare among comparable nations. America produces great people who win Nobel Prizes like Dr. King, who then have to turn around and call America the greatest purveyor of violence in the world, right? Chicago is the most accurate reflection of America that you will find. And I'm in love with her. She is everything to me. Chicago is aesthetically the most beautiful city I've ever seen. And it's also filled with pain. It has all those things. And that's what makes it Chicago. I gave up everything to be here. I'm not from Chicago originally, but I fell in love with her. And I had to be here. And I'm still in love. But I gave up everything. I moved here without any guarantees, without any notion that, this is going to work out. I was just in love. And so I'm here. And frankly, it was the most amazing decision that I've ever made. And so that's why it confuses me and bothers me when I hear people who've never been here or don't spend any considerable time here. They have so much to say about my love. They have so much negativity to talk about her. And they talk about being so afraid and terrorized. And I'm like, how? It can't be because of statistics, right? Because you're twice as likely to be shot in St. Louis than you are Chicago. Or I remember back in 2015 when people were going crazy that the world was ending. And if you look at the actual stats, in 1925, there were more homicides in Chicago than there were in 2015. And so I think what ends up happening is it's not about statistics. People can't really see Chicago clearly because of the issue of race. It's about race. In 1999, there was a Harvard scholar by the name of Jeffrey Myron. He released a paper and he argued that the periods where you see the highest homicide rates and violent crime rates, there's a direct correlation to stringent enforcement of prohibition. And so you have like alcohol prohibition in the 20s, and then you have the drug war now. And in the 20s, when you have Chicago as a bloodbath, you have all these homicides, all these gangsters. They happen to be European gangsters, people who were locked outside of the legitimate economy. So they grabbed onto whatever opportunities they could find. And so these are opportunities in the illegal liquor trade. These are opportunities in the, I guess you would say, non-legitimate economy. And it's somewhat of a one-to-one today. Those folks have moved on. They found other things to do. But what really helped them is that people understood that these people were not bad. We just had bad public policy, i.e. prohibition or what have you. The problem that we have today is we don't conclude that the policies are bad. We conclude that the people are bad. And that's really dangerous. It really stops you from seeing the issue clearly as it is, that just like those immigrants were locked outside of the economy, today 47% of black men between the ages of 20 and 24 in Chicago are neither working or in school. And so if I'm in the illegal drug business and I need people who are desperate enough to accept horrible working conditions, i.e. getting shot, I'm going to go to people who don't have a whole lot of other options. That's where I'm going to recruit my workforce from. And so we say that the people are bad. We don't look at public policy. We don't look at the root of it. And the reality is, since we've kept statistics, black unemployment has always been about twice white unemployment nationally. In Chicago, it's about 3 times. And so we ignore that, and because we would rather satisfy our appetite for black pathology to say how crazy black people are, rather than do objective analysis, we come to really bad conclusions. But to those people who say Chicago is this and Chicago is that, have you ever been here? Have you ever seen her from a perch along Lake Michigan? Have you ever been to the restaurants in the Loop? Have you ever gone to Brown Sugar Bakery on 75th Street? Have you ever eaten rib tips anywhere on the South Side? Have you ever experienced this amazing black culture that's so deep and so rich, such that Ta-Nehisi Coates would say, Chicago is the capital of Black America? Until you've seen all those things, until you've experienced it, you've yet to see the best of America.